Hi everyone, and thanks again for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're going to be talking about lesson 1.5, dividing integers, and very similar to lesson 1.4 with multiplying integers, you're still going to be using Monkey Man. Today you're going to be looking for 7 things to copy in your notes, so make sure your notes are titled and labeled, and let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to write down, dividing integers with the same sign, dividing integers with different signs. Notice again the same rules apply here. Dividing integers with the same sign, your answer will be positive. When you divide integers with different signs, your answer will be negative. Let's go ahead and pause the video now. Pause the video now so that you can copy down what's on this slide. Click play when you're ready to go on to number 2. So for number 2, we have Monkey Man. This is the same thing that you do in your notes for multiplying integers. I'm going to just revisit real quick. You have 2 negatives for eyes and a positive for mouth. If you're ever dividing with the same signs, your answer will be positive, because again, that's like covering up 2 negatives with your finger and the positive will be left over. Or with different signs, your answer will be negative. Cover up a positive and a negative, you're going to realize that there is a negative left over. If you can't remember, just go back to the previous video and revisit that second slide that I explained a little bit more about Monkey Man. Go ahead and take the time now to pause real quick if you don't have Monkey Man written down. Once you click play, we'll be ready for number 3. So for these, you're just going to watch me do again with dividing integers using Monkey Man. 2 negatives, they're the same sign, so my answer will be positive. So when I divide negative 18 by negative 6, I will get a positive 3. Okay? The next slide you're going to try on your own. So let's go ahead and do this. Take the time now to pause the video. Once you're done, click play to check your work. So pause the video, try on your own, click play when you're ready to check your work. All right, here we go. So we got these 2 operations. I have different signs, so I'm going to cover up a positive and a negative. I'm left with a negative. So essentially, 75 divided by negative 25 is negative 3. Letter B, same rule applies here. A negative divided by positive is still going to be a negative. So negative 54 divided by 6 will be negative 9. How'd you do? Again, some more for you to try. These are all going to be same signs. Pause. Once you're done, click play after you've done the questions to check your work. Letter A, that one's really simple. You grew up knowing how to do that. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Letter B, a negative divided by negative is going to be a positive, so your answer is a positive 8. And letter C, again, negative divided by negative is a positive, so your answer to letter C will be positive 5. How did you do? For number 5, we're going to talk about a little bit, and then you're going to try number 6 on your own. For this one, you cannot divide something by 0. So when it looks like this, or you could rewrite it and it could look like this, this is going to be called undefined. Some of you might have already done this, but if you have asked Siri on your iPhone what is 0 divided by 0, she'll give you a long explanation of how you can't do 0 divided by 0, because if you have 0 cookies and you try to divide them between 0 friends, that's impossible. So it's basically saying if you have 19 things and you're trying to divide it into 0 groups, that can't happen because there's always going to be one group. So even if you try to divide 19 into 0, you can't, or 19 divided by 0, you can't do that because there's always going to be at least one group of 19. So just make sure you understand that. Anytime you have 0 as the denominator or 0 as the second number, your answer will be undefined. Go ahead and pause the video now to copy what's on the screen. Once you're done, click play and you're going to try the next one by yourself. So here's the next one. Go ahead and take the time now to pause it. Click play to check your answer. Okay, as you noticed from the previous slide, anytime you divide by 0, where 0 is in the second part, or when 0 is the denominator, your answer will always be undefined. The last little bit is just whenever you're plugging in numbers and solving them using order of operations. Just as a reminder, order of operations is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division from left to right, and then addition and subtraction from left to right. Let's go ahead and try this question. The first thing you're going to do is copy down the question. Next, you'll plug in what x is equal to, 8, and what y is equal to, -4. I'm now going to solve using order of operations. Parentheses, there's nothing in parentheses except this -4, and I really can't do anything with it, so I'm going to go on to the next thing, exponents. I do have an exponent, that is 8 squared. That's going to give me 64. You're going to bring everything else down, just like you see here, and then go on to your next step. Multiplication and division from left to right. I only have division to worry about, so I'm going to focus on this right here. 64 divided by -4, that's going to give me -16. Again, bringing everything else down, and now I have this, 10 minus a -16. I'm at my last part of order of operations, adding and subtracting. Remember what we learned about subtracting? Keep, change, change. So keep the 10, change subtraction to addition, change -16 to 16. Final answer, 26. Okay, so essentially all you do here when you evaluate these kind of questions, you're plugging in what x and y are, whatever your variable is with the number, and then you're solving using order of operations. Go ahead and try this one by yourself. You're going to pause the video, try it by yourself, and then click play once you're done. All right, here we go. So we have b squared over a plus 4. b is -6, so -6 squared over a is -18, and then plus 4. -6 squared, these things are being divided, but I'm first going to deal with my exponents. -6 squared is going to be -36, still over -18, plus 4. -36 over -18 means to divide, so when I divide it, I get 2. It's a +2, because remembering Monkey Man. And then adding 4, I will get 6. The last little bit, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about this word problem. I'm not going to make you do it. I just need you to kind of listen closely. It says the height of the tide at the Bay of Fundy in New Brunswick decreases 36 feet in 6 hours. What is the mean hourly change in the height? The mean hourly change meaning how much does it change per hour? How much does it change per hour? So what you're essentially going to do is take how much it decreases by 36, and that's going to be a -36 because it's decreasing, and divide it by the number of hours, 6. When we divide -36 by 6, we get -6. So that means it's changing -6 feet per hour. You might have a question like that on your homework tonight, so just wanted to go ahead and make sure you saw that. This is going to conclude our video about dividing integers. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let's go ahead and look at the board to see what we're going to do next and what we're going to work on. Have a great day.